A very good morning, children. Hope you followed all the sessions of nutrition and respiration. If anybody did not watch the videos or did not follow the discussions, you please go back and watch all the videos so that you will get an idea on nutrition as well as respiration. Okay, children? So before going into the new unit, we'll try to understand what we have learned in the first unit and also in the second unit, right? A kind of gist or a kind of summary, right? The basic point, right? The basic point what we have learned in the first unit, also the second unit. That is what we are going to see. In photosynthesis, we have learned that plants undergo a process called as photosynthesis, and during the photosynthesis they form glucose and also they give out the oxygen. Plants, they perform a process called as photosynthesis and they give out glucose and also oxygen, right? Now in turn what I want to say is that these are all producing the energy. This energy is not only for the plants, but also this energy is for all the living organisms on the earth, including the microbes. And that is the reason why these plants are called as the producers. These are called as the producers, right? Now we got an idea about the plants, right? Plants are the producers. They undergo a process called as photosynthesis and they produce the glucose and also give out the oxygen. They liberate the oxygen, and this is nothing but the energy. And all the living organisms living on the earth, including the microorganisms also, what they require is the energy, right? And for that energy, what they consume is the food which is prepared by the plant. So all the animals or the human beings, indirectly or directly, they are dependent on the energy, right, from which is derived from the plants. So only plants are the ones which are giving the energy. So what you are doing here is that we are buying these vegetables or eating the fruits, eating the grains and whatnot, and our body will get that particular energy, right? So now here the next system is the digestive system. So whatever the energy giving foods are there, that is carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins and minerals, which are derived from the plants and all, we consume them. We are consuming them. That means our digestive system will digest all the complex molecules into simple molecules, and then it gives our body the required glucose. That is the glucose which is present here in the form of starch, or carbohydrates, that will form into glucose in our body. At the same time, we are also taking the oxygen from the air, right? That means now the same glucose and oxygen which are produced in the photosynthesis process are now where they are in our human body. It is in the form of same glucose and oxygen. Now this is what we are taking for the energy. Now if you directly eat them, if you just consume them, will you get the energy? No, we will not get the energy if you directly consume them. So another process should take place in our body. That is what we have talked about, is the respiration, the energy releasing system. That is the respiration. So when now assume this as a cell, now when glucose goes inside the cell, the same glucose here, it goes inside the cell, and also oxygen goes inside the cell, and now what happens here is the glucose molecule will get oxidized and produce lot of energy to our body, right? And also some energy is released in the form of heat. All the energy is stored in the form of ATP, that is adenosine triphosphate. Okay, so now here that is we are getting the energy here. Now one thing we have to make sure here that now if all these things are digested in the stomach, then how these are reaching the cell? Who is taking them? Who is taking them? That means, right, for example, if some products are produced in a factory, if they have to come to our shop, what should be there? There should be a transport system, isn't it? Somebody should transport them from the factory to the wholesale shop, and also we have to use our transport, that is vehicle or something, so that we can go to that shop and bring them. So what is necessary here is production is fine. The factory has produced that. The digestive system has produced the glucose and the glucose, like no, that is fixed glucose, amino acids and fatty acids here. But now they should be carried to each and every cell. Especially the energy giving food, which is the glucose, should be carried to the cell. How it is carried? There should again be a transport system. If you think that this is a factory, now they have to come to the shop. They have to come to a wholesale shop. So how they will come? There should be a transport system. And now if there is any transport system on a body, that is the circulatory system. So even we have a transport system in our body which will transport these glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, vitamins, minerals, okay, water, whatnot, to different places of our body. And also, you know, whatever the wastage is there in the factories, that should be thrown out. Okay, again that means whatever the wastage is there, again that also should go to that particular place, isn't it? So even the wastage in our body is also sent to, is transported to one particular place. And what are the good materials are there, that is the glucose, fatty acids and amino acids and all, they will be transported to the cells. And also who is transporting this? Okay, that is what we are going to learn in our new chapter, that is third unit, transportation, the circulatory system. So when you talk about the circulatory system, obviously what comes into your mind? Yes, heart comes into your mind. So our heart is having a connection with the transportation. So how these are transported, how the materials from the digestive system are transported. So what is the mechanism of transportation here? That is all we are going to see in this unit, which is called as the transportation, the circulatory transportation, the circulatory system. So children, if you take the organisms now for example, if you take the microorganisms, right, even they also need to get the energy. Okay, so they will also take the, because they are single-celled organisms, so they will use their body surface to absorb the food material. Okay, so there is no need of a special system here, right? The complete process will happen with the help of diffusion process, especially in the microorganisms, or you can say unicellular organisms. Okay, but whereas when you come to the plants and all, now what kind of respiratory system you need in the plant? What kind of transport system you need in the plants? Do you think that plants need a transport system? Yes, they need a transport system. 100% they need a transport system. Now I'll tell you why they need a transport system. Okay, all of you carefully observe what I read on the board. So now here I'm taking a plant here. So what we do is we will water the plant, isn't it? We will water the plant. Now this water has to travel against the gravitational force of Earth. Okay, they have to travel upwards, right? So actually everything what you throw up will come down. Okay, but whereas here in contrast, this water has to travel up. And we have already studied in the 9th class that some of the trees are sal trees, now like they are 300 meters long, meters tall. So they are even 300 meters tall. So how they will transport all these water and mineral salts? So the solution which is formed here, okay, how it will be transported to different parts of the body, like no even 300 meters long, and where they come to the leaves and all. So okay, even if they are transported to the leaves, so what leaves will do? It will prepare the food, and now this prepared food should be sent to each and every part of the body. So again they need to be transported again, isn't it? So that means to send and also to come back, what they need is a transport system. So how this is done in the plants? How the transport system works in the plants? Is there any transport system in the plants? Or if there is any transport system, how it works? That is also we are going to see in this unit. Okay, we are going to see about the diffusion here, and again we are going to see about the plants and the transport of mineral salts and water, and also the food material which is prepared by the leaves, even that need to be transported to different parts of the body. So that is also we are going to study in this particular chapter. Now coming to the third one, right? Coming to the animals, right? So now here we will see that we have already seen that. Now this is the digestive system. Now the food is here, right? Now the food has to go to each and every cell of our body. That means there should be a system who will send this food to each and every cell of our body. Stomach will not do that. Stomach will never do that process. So stomach will not send it to each and every part of the body. So where we have studied is till villi. We have studied till villi, where which are the small intestines, the finger-like projections here. What they will do? They will absorb the food. Now if they absorb the food, they are not directly sending it into the tissues and cells, isn't it? Is it going like that? No. And now we have also seen that there are lungs. Okay, there are lungs. And now when you see the lungs also, lungs are taking what? They are taking the oxygen. Lungs are taking the oxygen, right? They are giving out the carbon dioxide and taking the oxygen through the alveoli, right? So alveoli are receiving the oxygen. So alveoli is a place where the exchange of gases is taking place. That is what you should remember in the respiration unit. So here the alveoli are taking the oxygen, right? Now where is alveoli? Where is the oxygen? In the alveoli. Now is the alveoli sending them to the cells? No, they are not sending them to the cells. Now we have also seen that now this oxygen which is here, that also should go to the cells. Then who will take them? There should be a separate system where, like, the food should be sent to the cells, and also the oxygen also should be sent into the cells. So that system is our circulatory system. That is what we are going to study about. Now what are we going to study in the circulatory system? That is what we are going to see now. Okay, that means whatever the liquids, gases or solids, right? That is, glucose, which is in this liquid form now. So liquids, gases and whatnot, and even the which we eat, and that will be converted to glucose, and then it will be sent into the cells and tissues. So now here all these things are needed to be sent to the cells or tissues. So who is going to send them? That is a major question. Okay, so now, have you ever been to a doctor? Have you ever been to a doctor? And if you have really been to a doctor, you might have seen that the doctor will hold your wrist like this, and also he'll keep his hand here like this, right? So now here what he will be checking? When he keeps his hand like this and he'll be trying to count, he'll be looking at his watch, right? What is checking there? Is some kind of, is he listening to something, or is he feeling something? Okay, yes, he's feeling something over there. That is called as the pulse. That is called as the pulse. So what he feels here is the pulse rate, right? So the pulse rate which is here, okay, according to that, doctor will check whether we are sick or healthy. Now what you do, you look into the diagram which is shown in the textbook and all, like you find the particular blood vessel, and then you check it out, and then write the observations. At least check 2 or 3 of your family members, and write how many, just check it for the minute. Okay, feel the vibrations for 1 minute, and then write how many beats you have listened. So how many the vibrations were there and all, like you can take it for 1 exact minute. Okay, and now these vibrations are usually called as the pulse, right? To even understand more better this one and all, so you can also do a small experiment with that. So you can take a rubber stopper there. So you take the rubber stopper and put a toothpick to that and keep on your hand, okay, on the wrist, exactly on the wrist as shown in the picture. And now, okay, now what happens is it will start moving, right? You also count how many times it moves. So children, this is the introduction of the circulation or the transport system. So tomorrow we'll get into the actual lesson. So don't miss any topic from tomorrow, because we'll be directly learning about the heart and its structure. Okay children, so until then, see you all, take care and have a great day.